We want Trump! 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 We want Trump!
I'm not going to vote for Biden in 2024 is maybe one of the most selfish and
absolutely not. White liberals, you do not get to tell minorities that they're selfish and insane for saying that they will not vote for Joe in 2024. Y'all are the ones that are actually mad if you still think that Joe Biden is the lesser of two evils between him and Trump.
Do you understand what a no vote means? It means people will not vote for a president in the next election. It doesn't mean that these people are going to vote for Donald Trump. It does not mean that anyone is giving anyone else permission to vote for Donald Trump. People simply will not vote for a president. They will no vote the president. And please keep in mind, I am not voting for Donald Trump. Most people are not voting for Donald Trump because of what he says he's going to do. What he says he's going to do, what he wants to do. He wants Project 2025. He hasn't done it. He's not in the position to do it. But on the converse, people are saying they cannot vote for Joe Biden because of what he is actually doing.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I gotta tell you guys, by the day, it is looking worse and worse and worse for Sackchinian Joe Biden, okay? The empty suit president of the United States, okay? And the reason why I'm saying that is because Sackchinian is not only down in the national polls consistently, right? Most polls right now showing Trump beating Biden, okay? He's beating him across the board. Even in key swing states, Sackchinian is losing to Joe. And you also have a movement online of liberals who've decided that they're not going to vote for Joe, specifically the young people, okay, Gen Z, saying they're not going to vote for Joe over his stance on this situation going on overseas. And now Joe Biden is losing another key demographic of voters that could have a big impact on the 2024 election, specifically in certain swing states like Michigan. And that demographic is Arab Americans who are coming out here and saying that they're not going to vote for Joe Biden over what's going on overseas. Take a look.
Jorge Ventura is joining us with a little more light on this story. Jorge, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Adrian. This could be a potential disaster for President Biden with the election cycle heating up in 2024. It's a key swing state. Former President Donald Trump picked up the state in 2016, and President Biden narrowly won the state in 2020. And President Biden did so with the help of 35,000 Muslim and Arab voters who overwhelmingly voted for him. But that could change with that key voting bloc telling News Nation they feel betrayed by Biden for supporting Israel and its bombing of Gaza.
As Arab Americans, as Muslim Americans, we are standing up and we're saying, you needed us to come save you in Michigan, in a state like Michigan, a swing state where Trump won by only 10,000 votes in 2016. You asked us to support you. We came out, we voted for you, we supported you. 70% of us voted for you. But right now, you needed us to save you in that election. We are going to save ourselves from you. But we're not voting for the top of the ticket. We're not voting for somebody, again, who has whose rhetoric, whose lies, and whose actions have only hurt more Palestinians in Gaza, and who have resulted in a 6-year-old in Chicago being stabbed 26 times. That's because of false narratives and lies that have been told from the White House.
And voters say this doesn't mean that they'll vote for former President Donald Trump, but simply just sit out in protest, which could be costly for Biden as each vote counts in a swing state like Michigan, Adrian.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Again, another huge blow to Biden, because like I told you guys before, right? And I'll keep explaining this because I think it's actually going to be what really is going to determine the outcome of the 2024 election, which is going to be turnout, right? If people don't vote, the less people vote, the more the Republicans win, right? I mean, that's just a fact. And the reason why is because the more people that vote, the more stupid people that vote, or the people that vote with their emotions, or vote based off identity politics, who aligns with my race or whatever, right? That's how those people vote. Okay, so again, you got young voters, you got voters that vote based off racial or gender or sexuality, identity politics. Those people are gonna sit out because, quite honestly, Democrats made a whole bunch of promises to these people that he just didn't do. Right? He didn't do any of these things, and the economy's bad, the border's wide open, crime is out of control, and again, look at what's going on overseas. Again, they're not happy with Joe, right? They're not happy with him at all. There's no reason for any of these people to vote for Joe, which, in my opinion, should be sending the Democrats into an absolute panic. I mean, I know one thing, the Democrat Biden influencers are definitely panicking over this, right? And trying to do mental gymnastics to excuse Biden sending billions of dollars overseas to fight other people's wars, like, for example, in Ukraine.
Up and down my timeline, I keep seeing people talk about how Biden got money to fund wars, this, that, and the other, but he don't have no money to give to the American people. It's just factually incorrect. Biden don't hold the power of the purse. That's Congress. He requested, even in the title, it says request. But just like your job, you can request for days off, but don't mean it's going to get approved. The thing that frustrates me most about this particular rhetoric is the mere fact that Biden tried to give us $2.2 trillion, trillion, not billion, trillion, 2.2 trillion. That means 22 times more than he was given to any other country and stuff like that, with the Build Back Better plan that was going to reinvest in the child tax credit, which is also going to give us paid family leave, which is also going to lower the cost of prescription drugs, which he wound up getting done with the Inflation Reduction Act thanks to Vice President Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote that y'all said that she don't do shit. But anyways, back to my point. He was going to give us $2.2 trillion damn dollars, right? And then Republicans, along with Joe Manchin, voted against it. So my question is, why y'all hold Democrats more accountable than y'all hold Republicans who keep voting against every goddamn thing that they introduce? It's just like y'all got more smoke for Democrats because you feel the need to bully somebody who supposedly has more in common with you versus you actually holding the people accountable who are actually standing and being a barrier to progress. Like, y'all are so weak and up, and y'all some ass is really what the it is. I'm sick of y'all ass always.
Yeah, so Biden influencers, right? Biden influencers are panicking, okay? They're going in a full-blown meltdown because they can't influence their followers to vote for their own self-destruction, right? To vote to send their money overseas to fight other people's wars. It's pretty fascinating stuff to see what's happening to the Democrat Party. They are imploding. For as much as people want to talk about what happened with the GOP and the Speaker of the House fight, what is actually happening with Joe Biden is much worse, okay? Because what happened with the Speaker of the House is not going to have any outcome on the election. Nobody's going to go into the election thinking about, oh my God, Kevin McCarthy got removed, right? Those Republicans are so, they can't govern, right? That's not how people are going to think, okay? They're not going to go along with the Democrat narrative. But they will go into the poll thinking about, inflation, the border, sending money overseas. They will think about these things, and they may just decide not to show up to the polls at all, right? Again, it's hilarious, right? Even more hilarious than this Biden influencer who thinks that printing $2 trillion more dollars would actually have been helpful for the economy, considering the inflation that we have. Guys, could you imagine if we printed $2 trillion more dollars with Biden's Build Back Worse plan, right? Yeah, inflation would be out of control, okay? We will be headed towards a Venezuela situation, and then we have people leaving this country in a mass exodus, right? I'm just saying. But anyways, one thing that does give me hope is that you do have some people who've waken up and realized the writing on the wall in regards to how Trump is the best option in 2024, and maybe, just maybe, they should get on board with the Trump train, right? As it seems like the Trump movement is stronger than ever, as you have some rappers, like, for example, Waka Flocka and Lil Pump. They've come out here and they have endorsed Trump, and now at their concerts, they're getting college students to yell their support for Trump in 2024.
We want Trump! 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 I love y'all. Have a great day. Let's get it!
When I yell something, I want y'all to say 2024. When I say the word, say 2024. You ready? Y'all ready? Yeah. Trump! I fuck with y'all, man. Waka Flocka, man.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Okay, you have Lil Pump and Waka Flocka telling their crowds of young people to support Trump, right? We want Trump 2024. Again, this is a very, very, very interesting situation, okay? It is really, really, really looking like it is going to be a landslide victory for Trump because independent thinkers, people who, might not necessarily be overt Trump supporters, or they may have reasons why they don't necessarily like Trump, but, hey, they could be open to voting for him under the right circumstances or supporting him under the right circumstances, are coming out the woodwork and essentially talking about how, man, things were much better under Trump, right? Things were much better under Trump versus how it is right now. I actually feel like Biden's going to drag us into World War III, which is the exact sentiments that Joe Rogan had on his show that I think is, again, another bad sign for Joe Biden when it comes to so-called independence. Take a look.
Isn't that crazy? Boy, the fucking things change. He was in all the rap songs. Rappers would always talk about Trump. Everybody loved Trump. He was like this wheeling, dealing billionaire character that everybody enjoyed.
Yeah. I felt like he did a decent job.
As president? When you look at his regulations, it certainly helped the economy. I mean, that guy who was the head of...
I feel like we were in a lot better spot then than now, for sure.
Without a doubt. Well, there's a lot of shit happened. COVID and the world.
Right.
The world scares the shit out of me right now. Right now, I'm like, boy, this is not good. None of this Ukraine thing, not good. Yeah, everything not good. Everything scares the shit out of me. I'm looking at all of it going, fuck. Like, there's no good solutions to the Middle East. All of it looks terrible. And the Ukraine thing looks terrible. It just scares the shit out of me because it's just like all it takes is one person to launch a nuke and the world changes forever.
Right.
And I've never felt like that was a possibility in my lifetime until now.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit on the unsure realm of how I feel definitely a little bit unsure about what's going to happen.
Yeah, very, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at like moving to Iceland or some shit. Like, where's going to be safe from the fallout?
Go do some more research on aliens and figure out where the next vacation spot is.
Well, that would be fascinating if the aliens come down and stop it all.
Yeah.
If they just go, listen, you dipshits. We've been watching, waiting. It's like the way I describe it is like two brothers fighting in the backyard. The parents like, hang on, let them fucking work this out. And just figure out when one of them grabs a rock, then run in. Okay, enough. Yeah. That's enough. Yeah, I don't know. Just I've never felt more like the world's on the verge of being forever ruined. This is what it feels like right now. It just feels like I've never felt more like we're on. I mean, this is must have been what it felt like at the beginning of World War III or World War II rather.
Don't say three.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree with Joe Rogan. I think a lot of people feel that way right now, right? I think a lot of people can see the stark difference between what was the world like when Trump was president versus what was the world like when Biden was president. And it's just hilarious because the mainstream liberal media, they said that Trump's going to start World War III, right? With Trump in office, we're going to be less safe. But the exact opposite has proven to be true with Biden in office. And people are seeing it. And I think that's one of the main reasons why this is affecting Biden so badly is because we were sold Biden. Well, I wasn't sold Biden. I didn't vote for the guy. But the liberal media sold people Biden based off this idea that he wouldn't start any wars, right? That the world is safer under Biden because he's not unhinged like Trump, right? So, again, when you see that the exact opposite is true, that is going to make a lot of people say, you know what, no, we need to get that guy Trump back in office. Because the difference between Trump and Biden is so black and white that even people like Joe Rogan, who is not necessarily a fan of Trump, right? It's like, boy, under this guy Biden, right? It's terrible, okay? It's absolutely terrible. You know? Again, when it comes to the economy, inflation, crime, now you got what's going on overseas. This guy's not winning on one issue in this country. He's really not. And I think that he is going to lose a lot of support. And I think there's a lot of people who are just simply not going to vote in 2024. And that's going to basically guarantee a landslide victory for Trump. And I don't think it matters what the deep state tries to do to Trump, even if they lock him up. I really think that at this point, all of that stuff helps Trump. It helps Trump. And what Biden is doing is also helping Trump and hurting Biden. It's pretty fascinating stuff. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.